Mr. Suchaki.
Here, 5 present, none absent. On behalf of the board, I would like to welcome all students, staff, parents, and interested community members to tonight's Board of Education meeting. The board values and encourages public comment on education issues. Anyone having an interest in the actions of the board may participate during the public comments portion of the meeting, and if so, please identify yourself on the board sign-in sheet. A copy of the board meeting agenda is available for review on our website, and we do ask that you silence your cell phones during the meeting. At this point, I would ask that you please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved?
Moved by Mr. Dobbins.
Second.
Second by Ms. Etter. I'm sorry, I heard the voice. I wasn't sure whose it was. Is there any, are there any comments, discussion, additions, subtractions? Hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Ms. Prouse.
Aye.
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mr. Suchaki.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. At this point, we're going to do our recognitions of students of the month, and then after that, the staff spotlight. And for that, I turn the meeting over to our superintendent, Mr. Young.
Okay, so for our students of the month, we're going to start with Mr. Dtre, who is going to work his way from 12th grade down through 6th grade, and then Mr. Melvin will conclude with our 2nd grade students of the month.
Thank you, Mr. Young. At this time, could I have Marco Shafalo, our 12th grade student of the month, please come forward? I did think Marco was going to be. I will abbreviate Marco's comments to what his nominating teacher had written for his student of the month. Marco is an excellent student and even better classmate. He is always generous with his time and always willing to help. Marco has always been respectful and always puts others first above himself. Congratulations, Marco. The 11th grade student of the month is Raven Rhea. I know that she couldn't make it today. She was absent because she was sick today, so that I didn't know. Here is what Raven's nominating teacher wrote. Each morning, Raven enters her environmental science class with a cheerful attitude. Although not a talkative young lady this early in the day, Miss Rhea is a quiet storm of discipline. She actively helps out around the classroom, ensures that our indoor winter herb garden is organized and healthy, and then begins her daily work. Raven takes great care in all that she does, and everything is done with a purpose. She is kind, acute to details, and works well alongside her current project partner extremely well. It is a pleasure having this young lady in my class. She is always one of the first to volunteer to help out whenever something is needed to be done. I look forward to having Raven with the small bit of time that we have left during this school year here at Cuyahoga Heights. She will be greatly missed. Congratulations, Raven. The 10th grade student of the month. Can I have Laurel Gosnell please come forward? Laurel's here with her parents, Gina Ione and W. Jeff Gosnell. She is a resident of Seven Hills, and she has been attending Cuyahoga Heights since the 5th grade. Laurel's favorite subject is history. She is a member of the Electric Strings, Jazz Band, Recycling Club, Art Club, and crew for the school musical. Outside of school, she plays in a punk band. And after college, she wants to become an urban planner. Her favorite part of being at Heights is that it's small, so you can do everything. And also, the bell tower. Here's what her nominating teacher wrote. I would like to nominate sophomore Laurel Gosnell. Laurel is a focused artist with a very positive attitude. Laurel takes direction as an opportunity to reflect and grow. Laurel is a great classmate that leads by example. I'm looking forward to seeing Laurel continue to grow as an artist and person. Congratulations, Laurel. stand on that side in front of Mr. Muccio. The ninth grade student of the month, Liam Kmetz. Please come forward. Liam is here with his parents, Kevin and Colleen. He is the youngest of three, although he is a twin. So, they are residents of Valley View. He has been attending Heights since the second grade, and Liam's favorite class is physical science. He is a member of the band and the school's jazz band, and outside of school, he spends a lot of time lifting weights, playing on his drum set, or playing outside. His most memorable experience was at Cuyahoga Heights was the 8th grade field trip to Washington, D.C. He plans on becoming an F-16 fighter pilot after he graduates. And he said the best part of being at Heights has been the teachers, coaches, and how much the school has provided for him and his family. Here is what his nominating teacher wrote. Liam is an excellent student. He is very mature for a freshman. Liam practices every night to prepare for class. He does a nice job communicating when called on in class, and his hard work in the first quarter paid off as Liam has earned excellent scores on all of his assessments. Congratulations, Liam. The 8th grade student of the month, Reese Munoz. Please come forward. Reese's parents are Sabrina and Michael. He is the youngest of two, and his older brother is a graduate of Cuyahoga Heights. He has been attending Heights since kindergarten. Reese's favorite subject in school is history, and he is in the jazz band, marching band, stage crew, and the wrestling team. Outside of school, he likes playing games and taking things apart, which aligns with his career goal or interest of becoming either a mechanical engineer or maintain heavy equipment machines. His favorite part of being a student at Cuyahoga Heights is the people. Here's what his nominating teacher wrote. We are proud to recognize Reese Munoz as our 8th grade student of the month for his outstanding acts of service. Reese is always willing to lend a helping hand, support classmates, and contribute to our school community with a caring heart. His kindness and willingness to serve others makes a positive difference every day. Congratulations, Reese. The 7th grade student of the month, Kaylee Conti. Please come forward. Her parents are Patty and Ralph. She is the youngest of four, and they live in Valley View. She has attended Cuyahoga Heights since preschool, and her favorite subject in school is science. Kaylee is a member of the school's volleyball and basketball team, and soon. And she is also in the school's band. When not in school, she enjoys playing sports or hanging out with friends. And her most memorable moment at Cuyahoga Heights was the 5th grade teacher versus student kickball game, where she pointed out the students beat the staff 13-1. Yeah. She plans on becoming a CSI forensic scientist when she is done with school. Here is what her nominating teacher wrote. Kaylee Conti is 7th grade's nomination for Student of the Month. Kaylee truly exemplifies what it means to serve others through her actions every day. She consistently gives her best effort in the classroom, completing her work with care and asking thoughtful questions that enhance class discussions. She is respectful to both her teachers and peers, and her positive attitude makes her a joy to be around. Whether lending a helping hand to a classmate or showing kindness in small ways, she leads by example and makes our school community better. Congratulations, Kaylee. We are proud of you. And our 6th grade student of the month for December, Owen Nichols. Please come forward. Owen's here with his mom, Stacy. He is the youngest of three, and the family resides here at Cuyahoga Heights. He has attended Cuyahoga Heights since starting school, and his favorite subject is social studies. Owen is a member of the band, and he likes playing sports. Owen is really excited about next year being able to play football and basketball here for the school. When Owen grows up, he wants to become a professional athlete. And I asked which sport. He says either baseball or basketball, but for the Cavs or the Guardians. Somewhere, it's local. So here's what his nominating teacher wrote. Owen Nichols is a complete rock star in both the resource room and general education side. He strives for excellence in everything he does and always lends a helping hand. Owen maintains respect at all times while also putting a smile on everyone's face. He's not afraid to take on challenges and has a positive outlook. We nominate Owen for Student of the Month for December. Congratulations, Owen. And next, Mr. Melvin will come to speak about the Students of the Month in the elementary school.
For the record, the staff came out on top in last year's kickball game, so we made things right. All right, so we're going to call up second grade students tonight, and we are going to start with Nora Kando. All right, Nora resides in Valley View with her mom and dad and her one brother, Lincoln, who's in 7th grade, and a sister, Lydia, in 6th grade. They have one dog, Mia. Nora's favorite subject is Foundations because she really likes reading. Her favorite essential is music because she loves to play instruments. Outside of school, Nora loves to go places with her mom. When she grows up, she wants to be a singer. College plans, well, Nora knows that she wants to go, but doesn't really know where yet. And the message to her family is that she loves them. Here's what Nora's teacher said about her. Nora strives to create a positive environment in and out of our classroom by being caring, honest, engaged, and safe at all times. She consistently shows kindness and empathy towards others and is always willing to lend a helping hand. Her peers trust and respect her as a leader because she is always honest. Nora is engaged at all times in our classroom. She takes an active role in her learning by asking questions, listening attentively, and showing curiosity about new ideas. Together, these qualities make Nora a role model within our school community. So congratulations to you, Nora. All right, next up we have Mr. Killian McCarthy. All right, Killian resides in Parma with his mom and dad and his one brother, Declan, who is in 4th grade. They have two dogs, Sky and Triton, right? Okay. And two cats, Azul and Evie. Killian's favorite subject is math because he is really good at it. And he has had many days in a row where he has gotten everything correct. Killian's favorite essential is gym because he likes to play around and loves gym. Outside of school, Killian likes to play 99 nights with his friends and also play kickball. He wants to, when he grows up, he wants to be a football player. In college, he would like to play football at the Ohio State University and then get drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs. The message to his family is thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything that you do for him and that he loves you. Here's what Killian's teachers had to say. Killian is a shining example of what it means to be a model student at CHES. He consistently leads by example, demonstrating the core pillars of being caring, honest, engaged, and safe. What stands out most about Killian is his active participation. He is always engaged, asks insightful questions, and offers thoughtful responses. His kindness and support towards his peers make him a true role model in our community. There's no doubt Killian will go on to achieve amazing things, and we can't wait to see all that he accomplishes. So congratulations, Killian.
All right, Students of the Month, you can have a seat. just be patient with us. We have to do our staff spotlight. And then afterwards, we will go out here and take a picture with the Board of Education. And then you can go home, make a snowman, get ice cream, play video games, whatever it is that you do on a Wednesday night. All right, so for this month, we typically have our staff spotlight where a staff member nominates somebody in the district who has exemplified all the great characteristics of Cuyahoga Heights. But tonight we're going to pivot just a little bit. And we're going to recognize 3 of our board members. This is your last meeting for 3 of you, Mr. Dobbins, Mrs. Etter, and Mrs. Prouse. So we are going to take a moment and recognize them. And we'll just pass these down. It says Etter, so this is yours. And Prouse. And Dobbins. Okay. All right, so be patient. I'm going to read a few things here and thank them for their service. So it's a historic night. This is their last board meeting, and at the next meeting in January, we will swear in 3 brand new board members. So, but anyways, the first message comes from Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans could not be here tonight. He tried. He wanted to. It's snowing, and I know he's online listening. So you can say hi to him, and he'll hear you. You just won't hear him back. But he has a message he wanted me to read. He says, I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize your service to the students of Cuyahoga Heights Schools and your support of me as superintendent. The role of a board member is one of the most important but thankless in public service. You become the earpiece for parents and community members wishing to vent about the district without reaching out to the superintendent, a role that can be incredibly frustrating on your end. Your support of me as superintendent, allowing me to put students first in my decision-making process, can't be thanked enough. To Mrs. Prouse, Mrs. Etter, and Mr. Dobbins, as you leave your role as board members, please know that you helped guide Cuyahoga Heights Schools through one of the most tumultuous times. You stayed the course, and we emerged stronger than ever as a district. It was abundantly clear that you always sought the truth and placed the best interests of our students as your top priority. To Mrs. Deck and Mr. Suchaki, as you transition the Board of Education with 3 new board members, I am hopeful that you will continue on the path you have paved and allow our beloved district to continue to reach new heights. As you all are well aware, public education faces many new and continuing challenges. You are attacked by entities that know nothing about what we do and how we do it, and some that refuse to offer solutions to the challenges that they present. I wish you all the best. Please continue to put students first in all of your decisions. Go Heights, Mr. Evans. All right. And then I'll say something in my own words, specifically to the 3 board members that are, this is your last meeting. I could see you dancing as you walked in tonight, but I just hope you know that the level of stability that you brought to the school district during your tenures. You've provided steady financial stewardship. You've championed comprehensive excellence for our students, and you've ensured that we never lost sight of putting people first. The board navigated unprecedented challenges with grace and wisdom, whether navigating that thing called the global pandemic, you remember that, and all the challenges from that, disrupted education in everybody's lives, as well as guiding us through political uncertainty. You've always made critical decisions about resources, personnel, facilities, and priorities that put those people first. And through it all, you kept the district focused on our students and the relationships that support them. Cuyahoga Heights has consistently maintained a 5-star rating and recognition as a top 4% district statewide. But perhaps more importantly, you ensured that we continue to offer competitive, well-rounded educational experiences with a full spectrum of co-curricular activities for our students. You championed equal support for academics, athletics, and the arts, understanding that excellence means developing the whole child. Your leadership has not been about headlines or recognition or money, because certainly you don't get paid what you're worth. Rather, it was about steady, principled service that prioritized relationships, student achievement, and long-term sustainability. You understood that great schools are built on trust, stability, and an unwavering commitment to doing what's necessary for our children. This is a legacy that you leave, and it is one that will continue to lift this district to new heights for years to come. Thank you for your service and your leadership to and for this community. You have anything to add?
Yep. And I just wanted to say thank you for your years of dedicated service to the students, staff, and community, and your service on the board has helped guide our district with integrity, care, and a strong commitment to students. Your impact of countless hours, careful decisions, and steady leadership has been a joy to work with. I will truly miss working alongside you, and am grateful for both your leadership and will always value the time we work side by side.
Thank you. You gotta open your gift, so show everybody what you got.
Very nice.
Apple with their years of service engraved on it with their name. For whatever reason, education and apples go hand in hand. So,
Thank you very much. Thank you.
do you have anything to add, or are we good?
You know, I did want to say something that I'm actually very grateful and honored to have been part of this board, and so grateful to those in the communities of Cuyahoga Heights, Brooklyn Heights, and Bellevue who supported me and voted for me to this office 8 years ago. It has been rewarding, and I think that we have, as a board, have done what we can in these years. And always putting the students first. And there isn't any individual achievement or accolades, because this is a board, and we've always worked together, and I think that's been most important. And I've been so really very proud and have been honored to serve with Superintendent Evans and to you, Matt Young, and which have been wonderful, as has the staff here at Cuyahoga Heights. And I just hope for these great things for our students to continue, and I know that they will, with this new leadership as well. And just saying a thank you to those who have supported me in this role. I'm very conflicted about leaving the position, because I have those that are doing good work, and there's more to do, and it's in my family. Thank you.
So I do have, I'll be very brief, and thank you, Mrs. Etter. So I'll be very brief. I have 4 thank yous. Firstly, to my wife Pam for her support over these years. It's been demanding for her and for me. 2, I also want to thank my past and present board members for their ongoing cooperation and support and our collaboration. As Maria said, we've worked very well together in some fairly trying times. 3, I wanted to thank our communities and voters for their recognition of and support of what I believe to be an outstanding school district. And 4, our administration and all district employees for their leadership and teamwork in all matters, because they are focused on the benefit and welfare of our students, the whole education that Mr. Young referred to. So thank you to all of you people and many more. Thank
The
you.
one thing I would add is just for everyone, awareness, we are very lucky. We have an incredible superintendent and treasurer running the school district, and it has definitely made my experience as a board member, as well as Mr. Evans in the past, very easy and very rewarding, and it's been a great privilege to serve with them and with all of you. One of the things I've learned is running a school district is very complicated. We have students that are 3 and 4 years old, and we have future adults that are getting ready to go out into the world. We are a large employer. We have buildings that are falling apart sometimes. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. And so I would, if you have questions or you're wondering, I would encourage you to, come to meetings or learn more, because there's much more going on than any of us could ever imagine. And this team does an incredible job, and their admin teams as well, of running this school. And my kids go here, and I feel very lucky that they are.
Thank you.
I just have one more thing to say. That even though I'm leaving, I'm still going to be Cuyahoga Heights' #1 cheerleader, because I'm so proud of so much that's done.
Okay, so we're going to take a short recess. Again, we're going to get photos with the Board of Education and the Students of the Month, so that we can publish that on our website and social media. And afterwards, you're free to leave. You do not have to come back for the meeting unless you have nothing else to do with the next hour and a half of your life. Thank you.
Mr. Young, I think we're going to go right into section 5, which is going to be yours again,
Yeah, it's just a second,
whenever you're ready.
it's second public hearing of the district calendar. We have to do it twice, so there have been no modifications unless there's strong feelings either way. We would approve it in January and get it published, so.
Okay.
There's nothing to vote on. It's just a,
Right, and I'm looking at B, I'm not sure.
yeah, if there were anybody who wanted to show up to specifically talk about it, or if we wanted to have
Oh, talk
discussion
about the
about it.
calendar.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
comments, any comments from anybody, so it
Okay, comments on the calendar, okay.
So you're just saying this is the draft and it's going to be voted on in January?
would be voted on in January.
Right.
And again, the major shift was that the week of Thanksgiving, rather than having the whole week off, is to be back in session for the 2 days. I actually was at the Career Center yesterday, and there were 2 other districts that are looking to do the whole fall week off. I'm like, what, you guys are killing me right now. I said, the last I checked, you guys were, it was only us and Brecksville. But North Royalton is looking to do it, but that superintendent's leaving. So he's like, whatever they want, I don't care, that type of thing. And I'm trying to think who the other district was. I'm missing them, but Nordonia's like, no, we're in session. Revere's like, no, we're in session. So it's still like 5-3 as far as the Career Center goes. So that was the only discussion I've had about it.
Okay. All right, so moving past the calendar to section 6, comments from the public, there's nobody on the list, so moving to 7, treasurer's business, Mr. Muccio.
Thank you. I ask for items 7A, 8A through 8D for approval tonight in the consent agenda.
Okay, accept a motion for those items, please.
So moved.
Ms. Rouse? Second. And second by Mr. Dobbins. Discussion?
Yep, just wanted to point out a couple things. 8A is going to be our bank reconciliation financial statements and payments for board review for the month of September. And 8D is October for that month, so we are caught up. So that's great. Item B is going to be 2 new vendors to the district. We have number 1, which is going to be Hall of Framers. That's for framing athletic jerseys, a couple that our athletic director has. Estimated expense $1,500. And then number 2 is Dangerous Events. We're adding this vendor, but the contract has been pulled for this point in time.
Yeah, we emailed that, we pulled that off. I need to do a little bit more homework on that particular vendor. Make sure there's no conflicts of interest or anything like that. So I pulled it off, and if we go with them, then it'll be back in January. After we have confirmation that there's nothing that we would need to worry about. Anytime we have a new vendor, we try to do as much homework as we can on it.
Good, thank you.
It felt rushed.
Okay,
And item C is just 1 purchase order over $5,000, and that's for our annual membership in OSBA for 2026. That's $6,963.
Is that the same as it's been?
In the ballpark.
Okay.
I don't think it's exactly the same, but it's close to it.
It seemed a little high to me, but
It-
it is what it is.
okay. Anything else, Mr. Muccio?
That's it for the items for approval.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Muccio? Hearing none? Oh, okay, nice. All right, okay, hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Ms. Prowse?
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins? Aye. Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mr. Sujak?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Moving on to section 10, treasurer's discussion and comments.
Yep, a couple items. I'll go through these quickly. 10A is the new forecast timeline. So it's switched, so no longer in May are we going to do the updated forecast, but now it's been moved up to end of February. So that's going to come faster than we can believe it. So it's going to be here soon. So we'll be looking at that early February. Item 10B, our financial statements are complete for fiscal year '25, and we contract with the Auditor of State's office to work on that, and that's been filed. So that has to be filed within 150 days after the close of the fiscal year, so always around Thanksgiving, and we made it. So we're all good. Financial statements are filed. 10C is going to be the notice that they're complete and available for review, and we post those within the Plain Dealer as well, so we have our notice there. Item 10D is going to be the tax budget that we have, the alternative tax budget. That's coming up in January, so we're going to see that for approval at our organizational meeting as we do every year. Item 10E, just wanted to point out that the Legislative Service Commission has confirmed that there's a formula error in the financial effect that they had emailed out dealing with HB 129 and HB 186. Now, I think that they have since corrected that and sent out a corrected version, maybe, but just wanted to point out that even the Legislative Service Commission can make errors in what's projected to be legislation coming from Columbus. So that's just concerning to know that anything in the future, we may look at the financial effect. It's possible that they could have errors, errors in it too. So just wanted to keep that in mind, anything coming down. And our last item is the Cuyahoga County property tax issue. So we are at a point where we're waiting to meet with them. Hopefully we do this Friday. And I had a phone call with the county last week, and we spoke with our legal counsel. And the county's essentially proposed two ways to fix the issue. And let's open the public content. We have the Ohio Administrative Code there. So that Ohio Administrative Code is Rule 5703-25-48, which deals with correcting errors. And I want to look at the end of it. So the two proposals from the county as far as fixing this issue would be to, number one, fix it next year. So what they're going to do is say, okay, we recognize that we underpaid Cuyahoga Heights schools and undercharged Class 2 omitted taxes. Now what they're proposing for this first option is to roll in the omitted taxes with next year's taxes that are sent out. So that's their proposal number one. Number two is saying if that doesn't work, then they will assess omitted taxes in essentially a special tax assessment that would be out there by itself. Now it's interesting because our legal counsel brought this up, but the last part of this Ohio Administrative Code talks about, and I'm going to read the last sentence, except as provided in Division H of this section of the revised code in paragraph A of this rule, the commissioner shall not adjust the tax reduction factors such subsequent tax year in order to add to or subtract from the taxes charged and payable for that year, and any amount that represents an overpayment or underpayment resulting from the use of illegal or erroneous tax reduction factor in the preceding year. That's essentially option number one that they're proposing. So that last part, that sentence right there, contradicts option one, what they're proposing to roll this into next year, fix it. So our legal counsel is working with the legal counsel from the Department of Taxation and Cuyahoga County. We'll see what comes of it. But I just wanted to point out that this Ohio Administrative Code is the mechanism to correct the error. And it seems like their first option proposed by the county is at odds with the language as I interpret it. So we'll see what arises out of it. And again, our legal counsel's been pointing that out to them, so they're aware, their legal counsels are aware. And I imagine that lawyers wouldn't okay this if it's not, legal. So we'll see what happens. Now, there could be other verbiage in here, or maybe I'm misinterpreting it, or some, inclusions or exclusions somewhere else, but, just from, talking with our legal counsel, and Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but that could be the case, that this first option could not work. Matt, is there anything else?
You've done a great job of working. Matt is persistent. He's like dog on a bone. I mean, we're fortunate he's not let go of this, and he is working with David Seed to hold their feet to the fire. And we're making steady progress, but if we get to February and we do not have resolution, then we may have to well, it's not a may. We're gonna have to go the legal route, so. That's what David's recommendation was. I was like, they're aware, they're trying, they've acknowledged, like, you gotta give it time to, as Mrs. Pross said, schools are really complicated. This is more complicated than that. It's incredible how many offshoots there are of this, and as Matt's saying, we've got things within law that have to be followed, so they have to make sure they're making recommendations that are legal. They want to fix it. They would like, oh, here, let's just do it this way, but you have things in law that you just can't do because you want to. You have to follow that. But David feels like at this time we're moving forward.
Yeah, so we said we would defer to legal counsel's recommendation, and Matt's exactly right, that our legal counsel at this point in time has recommended not pursuing the path of litigation, but I think, when we kind of said, okay, not now, but at what point is reasonable to maybe look down that path? And I think everybody said, certainly February, if not sooner, would be reasonable to any person looking to say if it's not fixed by February, litigation's our option, if not sooner. But again, I'm deferring to legal counsel on it. They've been fantastic as we work through this. And I will say a bit of good news is when I was speaking with the county the other week, they did acknowledge that we are owed omitted taxes. We are owed funds. So before, one person came out and said, we may have to pay something back. So that has been, at least from the person I spoke with, that person was incorrect in what they said and their calculations, and that we are owed omitted taxes and funds. So that's good. No. No, they're still, and this is, whenever I talk with the county, I ask for that, I don't get that, and then, I kind of take them back to the whole beginning scenario, and I say, okay, we're going to go through the whole thing again. We'll run down it, and then, I think that they're still waiting to, my best guess is get the updated rates from the Department of Taxation. So, that's their answer to me, that they don't have the updated abstracts and updated effective rates to provide me. And again, I only need two figures. I need the correct valuation as it is from Cuyahoga County certified, and then in turn, they would certify that to the Department of Taxation. The Department of Taxation would create those effective rates, and then once I have those two components, piece of cake. It takes 30 seconds to input everything. But as far as getting the valuation from Cuyahoga County and the effective rates from the Department of Taxation, for whatever reason, it's I've always been met with some way around getting to that.
There's a number you're looking for, though.
Yeah, as far as the figure, we talked about it on the phone, and they were talking about the valuation. And my figures, I had used the valuation that they had certified. The only number, the number that's still on their website, 576 million overall. And it appears that that's the incorrect amount, and it should be 90 million less. Okay? I just have to see that certified from Cuyahoga County. Once I do have that figure, all different classes of it, class 1, class 2, public utility, personal property, I'll be able to take that valuation and input it. So, when we were just roughly going over the amount, $2 million, it's 2.3 is against that figure. But if we reduce it down, that kind of takes our inside millage increase from what we saw down by about $500,000, give or take. So our number would be closer to about 1.7, 1.8 million. And that's saying that we're taking what we received last year plus our new levy, which is approximately 3.5 million, and not taking a large increase for the inside millage if the county is saying our valuation is close to what it was in previous years. So assuming that that's correct in what they're saying, we have yet to see it certified, but then we're assuming that there would not be an inside millage increase as would go with the 576 million. So our number, probably in the ballpark of about 1.7, 1.8. And as I was speaking with the county, I said, okay, let's let's have that goal in mind when we work on fixing it. We know the amount that's gonna be on top of our baseline amount. So I keep going back and forth with all the numbers, and, like Matt was saying, they're very willing to solve it. They keep telling me that they're trying to. I said, why can't we just all lock ourselves in a room and, a couple hours, we're done with this? But I just keep getting, but again, our legal counsel has been on them as well, and we emailed back. We're trying to schedule a meeting, and Friday's the day that we have, and they're willing to meet with us, yet again. They don't have those final numbers. They still want to meet with us once they have, the number from Department of Taxation and whatnot, so. But we'll see if we can meet with them this Friday or soon thereafter, and again, to continue to keep the pressure on. And, I really want to talk about, this aspect of the Ohio Administrative Code and how it, the option that they're proposing complies with it.
Well, I have two follow-ups with that. Number one, so I believe December 16th is the big day for them.
Yep.
And that's only 6 days away.
Yep.
And that means that there's a possibility that this error could repeat itself with the new billing that's going up for
Well, I
the
asked that.
businesses.
I asked that if we're under any urgent timeline coming up, and the county told me, their words were, do not worry about a timeline, and, I said, I worry about everything, and they're like, and she, they were saying, she was saying, Matt, if it's not fixed by New Year's, I'm gonna be working on it. And that's when Matt was sitting there, and I made a joke to her on the phone, and I said, well, take a minute to celebrate New Year's, and then you can get back to work. So, they understand it. They, we're asking the questions, and they're telling us that they're working on it. And I've, spoken with our legal counsel about the timeline, and he's, talked to me about that too. But this is from Cuyahoga County, what I'm hearing from them. So just relaying, I keep relaying my concerns to them, and they keep telling me that,
Again, I'm just
Yep.
curious,
Oh, yeah.
the error could repeat itself.
Oh, yeah,
and
I am too.
Continue on
Yep.
with the new tax bills that go up.
Yep. I think we're all concerned about that, but there's such a spotlight on it, I think that I'd be shocked if, it didn't, because, everybody's telling me, our legal counsel, Cuyahoga County, that there's so many eyes now on this. Even the Auditor State's Office is looking into this too. So, Columbus, the Department of Taxation, the higher-ups there, Cuyahoga County, the higher-ups there, there's just so many more people looking at this. So it just, logically, it should be fixed relatively soon, logically. But again, we'll continue to reach out to Cuyahoga County, we'll continue to meet with them, and we'll continue keeping the pressure on.
And that dovetails into my next thought is, you noticed this in early spring. You noticed that the receipts from the county were lower. They gave you the brush-off answer, oh, everybody's, delinquent, everyone's delinquent, blah, blah, blah. And thankfully, you didn't take that for the answer. But like we've been talking about this, and you specifically have been talking about this since the spring. And my question is, a deficit of $2 million to the school district creates a financial stress. And I know you're a miracle man, but come on, you can't,
It does. Oh, yeah. Yes.
make things happen. You can't make money, then you're not growing any money on trees these days, so.
Right, I did explain that to Cuyahoga County, and, they have a person there in their office who was a former fiscal officer, so they can relate. She's mindful of it. She said that she, understands that situation immensely, and that, her words, they're working on it, as timely and as quick as they can. I told them, don't, accuracy over speed, don't do it wrong, do it right. So it's, yeah, but we're kind of at the mercy of these large entities, Cuyahoga County and the Department of Taxation. So without, litigation, but again, deferring to legal counsel, you know, where maybe I would kind of say, all right, now's the time to engage litigation to make sure this thing gets fixed, and we have a judge that, you know, says, let's get to the right number, and we're gonna make sure that number goes there, and we're gonna, you know, make sure this complies with law, and we're gonna, you know, do everything right. You know, our legal counsel feels that now is not the time for that, but it could be soon in the future. So we'll see. And again, I'm deferring to legal counsel on that, and see where it goes. But again, February's not far, so.
Yeah, but it'll be an entire year
I know.
since this was,
Oh, yeah.
actually noticed.
Right.
It has to be collected.
Yeah. So it'll be, even, how many more months before we actually see the amount of money that the district was owed.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I look at it every day, so.
Okay.
You know, we talk about it, you know, every other day, every day, and we say that we gotta, you know, our first priority is getting the omitted taxes back to the school district, so. It's high on our list. You know, we're working to schedule that meeting on Friday, and then we'll, you know, again, I spoke with the county last week, we'll continue to apply the pressure, continue to work with our legal counsel, and again, legal counsel for the Department of Taxation and Cuyahoga County is aware of this situation. So, you know, if we have to have our legal counsel come back to a meeting to update us, you know, certainly we can ask for that in January, and, you know, maybe January's the time if something's not fixed by then, but.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Nope. All right, let's move on then. Section 11, let's start superintendent's business. Mr. Young.
Okay, on the consent agenda for consideration, I have 11A and B, 12A, 13A, 14A, and 15A.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for those items, please.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Decker,
Second?
second by Mr. Dobbins. Mr. Young.
Okay, so 11A, this is the tuition rate schedule for next school year only. The recommendation is to keep 26-27 the same as 25-26, and then we can consider beyond that with the new Board of Education. But our application opens tentatively January 12th, and so we need to get these rates set so that we can get the application process updated, which has to go through a third party. So this is really the last time we could do this before it really starts to run into our our deadlines. Any thoughts on this? Are we okay with this for the year? Okay.
Agree.
Okay. Perfect.
There's some great value here.
Yes.
We should be really promoting the.
Now, 35% of our approximately 35% of our district is a tuition population. So they're a very important part of our student body and our programming. So, letter B. This is a memorandum of understanding with our classified staff, Chase. Article 22, vacations and holidays. When we negotiated 2 years ago, we addressed vacation for 260-day employees, 226-day employees, and 195-day employees, but there are some employees within Chase that aren't 195-day employees, and they were left out. And so rather than trying to fit everybody into the 195-day category, we want to change that to just all other Chase employees. So you'll have your 260s, which are your year-rounds. You'll have your 226s, which are primarily your office administrative assistants, and then all other Chase members would be paid out those holidays. And this allows us to correct an error that we made last year with some of those employees that did not get paid for holidays, and they should have. So this corrects that language. It's a great benefit. It's not just a benefit, it's something that in prior contracts we had done, but because the language changed, it created a disadvantage for some of our employees that we want to fix.
And this is the hard part about connecting the dots. So, like Matt was saying, we went back in the contract and adjusted contract language for working days in a certain section, and that lessen the workdays from 195 to, let's say, 194. Well, 194 does not meet the standard of getting 8 holidays. So we paid them correctly according to the contract, but it was an unintended consequence of shifting language at the time. The impact was, we just want to modify your schedule, maybe not on student days, but on teacher days, or vice versa. But at no time were we saying we should not give them holidays. And then we're saying, oh no, this is the easiest way to kind of fix that convoluted, connect the dots.
So are those less than 195 days, are those considered part-time
No.
employees?
No, you take your bus drivers, for example. They only work student days. Well, there's 178 student days. So they don't work staff days. But if you take cleaners and cafeteria workers, they work staff days, which is 187. They don't work the half. It's 187 days. Stacked on your 8 on top of that, that's 195. But some classifications, your student monitors who are like your cafeteria monitors, they're tied to student days as well. So they don't equal the 195, but the intent was not to exclude anybody. But when you put a number on it, that number becomes the number. And so we wanted to make it broader. So if there are any, for example, next year there's scheduled to be 180 student days as opposed to 170 or 179. We always fluctuate somewhere between 177 and 180.
So why did you use numbers and not just say student days or staff days?
It's all part of the negotiation process. Yeah. So, and those are things that we can work, as good housekeeping language in the future to clean things up. A good contract should have no ambiguity to it. So we're going to work really hard with our classified staff members. Next, the 12A, this is to approve boys and girls indoor track and field as a board-recognized activity for 2025-26. This is something that has actually been required to have been done in the past. We've approved the coaches, but we haven't approved the recognition of them as a board-sponsored activity. Here's the reason for that. The Ohio High School Athletic Association does not recognize indoor track and field as an official sport. But they do allow the Ohio Association of Track and Cross Country Coaches to host a state meet for the indoor season. And they use OHSAA officials. But the Ohio High School Athletic Association, they do not want to take on the funding of it, the management of it. They don't. They have enough going on with basketball and wrestling and swimming to keep them busy. So they've never done that. This is one of the requirements, is that the board recognizes them so that our kids can participate in that indoor state meet. And then you have to approve the coaches then as well, which you'll see that down in 14A, which with the supplemental contracts. We'll be approving indoor track coach. I think you see a split between Mr. Amari and Mr. Atwell, and then you see some scores for basketball on that chat supplemental. That's Mr. Atwell, yeah, Mr. Bill Atwell, exactly. 13A, this is the employment of a cleaner, Drew Evans at step 5. Drew had experience, I think 11 years of experience at 2 different hospitals doing similar type of work. This replaces Concordia McFall, who retired at the end of last school year. So we have posted this position, and we finally have somebody who is actually following through and wanting to be employed here as the district. You might know Drew's father. But step 5 is what we're going to bring him in at. Okay. And then we talked about 14A. Those are the chat contracts for indoor track as well as scores for our basketball programs. Finally, we have 15A. This is our monthly substitute teacher list that we get from the Educational Service Center. So you'll see a few new highlighted people on there. I think they've got three highlighted on that list. And that's everything for consideration.
Okay, any other discussion, questions? Hearing none, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mrs. Decker,
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins,
Aye.
Mrs. Etter,
Aye.
Ms. Kraus? Mr. Souchaki?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Moving on to superintendent comments.
Yes, okay, I'll be very quick. So on the legislative front, House Bills 129, 186, 309, and 335 have now moved from the state legislature to the governor's desk to consider, to sign, or to veto. I've got a lot I could say about these. I will actually be talking about them tomorrow night at our BEST committee meeting. A little bit more detail. The people in leadership roles, are touting this as major property tax reform and property tax relief. Please understand that this major tax relief is temporary and will only force school districts to go to, not necessarily us, but those that are affected directly by these, to go to the taxpayers sooner. It's not long-term sustainable tax relief. And by the time, we get into next calendar year, schools will be funded by the state of Ohio at their lowest amount in 3 decades, at least 3 decades, 4 decades, 32%. 32%. States are required by law to fully fund public education. They will be funding them at 32%. All right, so major tax relief at the expense of schools, and it's at the expense of taxpayers. So that's just the reality we're in. So I ask everybody to do their homework and read between the lines. Or come to the BEST committee meeting and you'll get an awful lot of education about these things. Winter concerts are going on this week. We had orchestra last night. We have choir tonight, and band is tomorrow night. Really, big shout out to our music program. They do a lot of other things than just the concerts you see in the buildings. They go to different tree lightings. They were at our senior citizens luncheon last week, and a lot of these students are also athletes or participating in things like Model UN. They went to a big tournament and competition this past weekend. I'll get an update on that. I know we brought home 2 trophies, so I want to properly give those students their recognition at the next meeting. But thanks to our teachers who facilitate that music process. This weekend we've got the Al Pinter tournament, a big wrestling tournament. Nearly 20 teams are going to be coming on campus here. That's right off the back of last weekend's youth wrestling tournament that was on Sunday. Very well attended, very well managed, and it's great that our wrestling program, which is one of the backbones of our athletic programs here, continues is in a very healthy place. So thanks to everybody, all the coaches and volunteers who will pull those off. There's a lot of different sporting events going on. Go to the district calendar. There's boys and girls basketball, there's swimming, there's wrestling, it's middle school, it's high school. There's a lot going on, and our student athletes love to see you in the stands. So anybody that can get out there and make it is great, greatly appreciated by them. Next week is exam week in the high school specifically. Middle school, high school will be on shortened schedules for most of the week. Friday is a day off for all students. So in case parents thought their kids were going to school through Friday, they're going through half a day on Thursday. They're going to show up at your house by 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock on Thursday, and then you get those little bundles of joy until January 4th, and then they come back on January 5th. So, with that, just happy holidays and happy New Year to everybody. Hope 2025 ends well, and 2026 is your best year yet.
Thank you. Moving on to section 18, board policy review and adoption. We have 3 board policies that had their first reading last meeting. Acceptance of payment by credit card, student fees, fines, and charges, and auditing. Is there any discussion on these 3 items? Okay. Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to approve these 3 policies.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dobbins. Second by Ms. Prouse. Is there no discussion? Treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Ms. Prouse?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki?
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item 19, President Pro Tem to preside over the 2026 organizational meeting. That person will run the meeting up to the point that the board president has been selected, and the board president takes over the meeting from there. So would anyone like to nominate someone to be the President Pro Tem?
Well, consistent with past protocol, I think that the current president has typically served as the pro tem president. So, Mr. Souchaki, I nominate you for that role, if you'd accept it.
I will accept.
That's a second. I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Prowse seconds. Any other discussion? It's the easiest way to do it. The same thing we do at the Career Center, by the way. Okay, treasurer, please call the roll.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Ms. Prowse.
Aye.
Mrs. Zetter.
Aye.
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Section 21, board discussions and comments. Anyone have? Well, the first thing on there is the board meeting calendar.
Yeah, so we've added a second draft. I'll just explain the difference there. The first draft shows the second meeting in January as January 21st. The second draft shows that meeting as January 28th, actually having 3 weeks. It doesn't change anything after that. The reason why we did this is Mr. Dtre is trying to find an evening for National Honor Society induction, and the 21st has no other events unless we put an event on there. And I believe your daughter may be getting inducted this year, and I would hate to have to do a 4 o'clock induction or a 5 o'clock induction or a Sunday induction when, if we could potentially consider the 28th, because the 28th has sporting events, so we can't move NHS to that night. So I'm talking about January 28th, yeah. So that's the only difference is rather than January.
28th is a basketball game, so both.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah,
It's
one or the other.
we're going to we're always going to run into something, but
I know.
that's the only reason, and that's not for anybody to vote now. I just wanted everybody to review it because the next board can vote on that one, so no pressure. But we could always move the time up, but then it would be a rush ceremony, and we would just do our 7 o'clock meeting on the 21st. It was just something to consider.
Okay,
So.
that makes sense.
We're going to miss NHS or we're going to miss basketball. I don't. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
Your daughter, she's just in
Got
everything,
Trinity.
isn't
Got
she?
Trinity, too.
Yeah. What we found is when we had NHS on Sundays, a lot of students just wouldn't come on Sundays. They didn't want to come to school on Sunday, even if they were being recognized. We really saw the student participation decrease, so we're trying to get it back. Trying to get it back during the week, and it's tough in the wintertime.
okay. I have a couple of items for this section. First, the BEST committee meeting is tomorrow night, but I have a Career Center meeting tomorrow night, which means there's an opening if one of the other board members wishes to attend the BEST committee meeting. Because of course, we can only have 2 because it's not a board meeting. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not trying to solicit anyone to be there. I'm just putting that out there. If somebody would like to attend the BEST committee meeting, there is an opening. Second item, Matt Rush has informed me that he cannot attend the January 7th meeting. But we'd like to have a full board complement as soon as possible when we get into the new year. So Mr. Muccio has said that he is willing to swear him in. You don't have to do it at a meeting. He's willing to swear him in on January 2nd when they both can in the morning, so that we have that out of the way, so that we'll have a full board, a legal full board, when we have our first meeting on the 7th, and we'll be back up to 5 people, rather than waiting until the 28th and go essentially the entire month of January with only a four-person board when we don't have to do that. So that's the plan. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. I do intend to be there, but Mr. Muccio really can't do it by himself. Superintendent can't do it, the treasurer can.
Are you already here, Mr. Muccio, that day, or are you coming in?
It's not a problem.
So thank you, Mr. Muccio.
Thank you,
for
yes, thank you for coming in.
aligning your schedule so that we can do that. And the third item that I wanted to talk about with this board, because the new board won't understand all of it yet, but maybe having everybody here at the same time is a good idea. When I first joined this board, I actually skipped several agenda meetings because I found it frustrating to sit through an agenda meeting and review the agenda and then show up a few days later and go through it again. Right? Just doing it in public as opposed to doing it in the back, in an office to make sure we were in sync. So my question is, and I thought we were required to have them, but I've checked with John Britton and we're not. It is not a state law that we have to have an agenda meeting before a board meeting. So I wanted to throw it out there. What do you think of agenda meetings? Do you think they're a good idea? Would you think that we should continue doing it? And I'm primarily asking, of course, the three people who are dropping off the board. Now, I think we would certainly do them in January and February, I would think, so the new board members have a chance to see what it's like. But I wanted to get the outgoing board members, if you have any comments on whether or not you think agenda meetings are worthwhile to have. I mean, it can be difficult at times to squeeze them in there, especially if you have a full-time job. You know, you're asked on Thursday before the board meeting to attend remotely or live an agenda meeting at 3 o'clock.
We can always adjust the time to fit people's schedules, but I found them to be worthwhile and purposeful.
Okay.
Because, it gave you an insight into what was on the agenda for the upcoming board meeting. But it also give you more latitude, sitting in the superintendent's office to talk, openly and freely about the different items. And, something might be on the agenda that might spur a little bit more curiosity or interest or seek more knowledge. And then you'd have, be able to get some information earlier before the board meeting.
Okay.
And again, I preferred to do them in person, excuse me.
So do
But,
I.
sometimes, depending where my schedule and what I was doing that day, I had to do it by phone. And I was still there on the phone and still got the information. But ideally, I liked coming into the office and seeing everybody and talking in person.
Okay. Ms. Proust, it looked like you were going to make a comment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I pretty much agree. I would say I found them very helpful. I think maybe especially because I, worked a full-time job, I usually can't just pop up here in the middle of the day or stop by and see them, so it was always just a great way to stay extra connected for me. And I always did them via Zoom, and it was great.
I mean, there are, other hours of the day, if 3 o'clock is not an ideal time. It is for them because it's at the end of their workday.
Right.
Yeah, but, life happens and sometimes schedules have to be changed and adjusted. And if, you can get everyone to agree on a specific time and place.
Okay. Well, the people who are at the agenda meeting do have to represent the rest of the board. I guess the good thing is if something does come up, that information can be conveyed to the rest of the board before the board meeting,
Yeah.
usually through the Friday updates. But,
And I was gonna mention that too, the Friday update, Mr. Young, you do a great job of listing out,
those
for the
are
upcoming-
really important.
yeah,
the
the
Friday
upcoming
updates.
meeting of what's gonna be, on the agenda. and-
We really appreciate your Friday updates, Mr. Young. They're excellent. They're very thorough and gets us well prepared for the meeting, so. Okay. I just thought I'd throw it out on the table. I've heard your comments. We'll see. You guys will have the chance. Now, you may not have known about that, but that's one of your other responsibilities is to attend agenda meetings the Thursday before a board meeting. We rotate. And what we've done the last couple of years is the vice president takes the first one because that's,
Work session?
that's the work session. And then the president takes the second one because that's the normal meeting, the one where we do the awards and all that.
And then other three rotate
And then the other
With-
three board members rotate.
with the president and vice president, so every third one.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. That's the way now we just came up with that. That's something different. At the Career Center, it's the president only. Actually, when I first joined the Career Center, it was the president only. And then I recommended that the vice president be there, and that's what they're still doing. President and vice president do theirs, and nobody else sees them at all. Here, we've gone through a couple of things, but the current one is the, one we've been using maybe 4 or 5 years now. Seems to work out well. It shares the responsibility. Everybody has a chance. But there were times here when only the president would do it.
I don't think that's healthy for just one person to be representing and meeting with administration on matters that are that broad and are brought before the entire board.
Right. I
That's
agree
my
with
own
you.
view.
I agree with you. That was not a healthy situation when we were in that situation. We might have had 2 people at all those meetings, but the president always was at every one. Certainly, yes.
There was a recent webinar that the OSBA did, and this was one of the talking points about the agenda. And it was a panel of people, and one person spoke about how beneficial it was, even though that the superintendent drafts the agenda, the board being present isn't, without them, it would just be essentially be attending a meeting and kind of putting a rubber stamp on what the superintendent wants to do, so that the public can't accuse the board of doing that because you participated in the agenda and it is your meeting.
Right. And that's a good reason for doing the agenda meeting, because you can have a much more open discussion and work out some of those kinks ahead of time.
Right.
So, okay. All right. Very good, and thank you for your feedback. Did I have anything else? I'm looking at my notes. I didn't want to leave something out. No, that was all I had. Anybody else have anything for board discussion, comment?
I just had one thing that I wanted to add, that I do like being on the Economic Development for Valley View, on that committee, and I intend to stay in that position. So I would love to be able to be your liaison and to report back to the board, if you would consider that.
Yeah, we've changed, I think we can still do that. Mr. Young, no, we no longer have that list of committees,
Yeah.
but the liaisons are still valid, right? And there's certainly, we could have a liaison who's not on the board, but we would hope that there'd be some sort of a report or follow-up after those meetings, either in person or email or something.
Okay.
If you'd like to continue doing that, that would be fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
A similar thing works with the representatives for the Career Center. The people who are not on a board but are on the Career Center board but not on their local board come to a board meeting or to have a report delivered to the board meeting after the Career Center meeting. Speaking of which, the next Career Center meeting is tomorrow, which is why I won't be at the BEST committee meeting. And why I also don't have a report, because we haven't had a meeting for a long time, so I don't have anything new to report on the Career Center. Anything else for board discussion, comment? All right, hearing none. Future agenda items? All right, informational items. It should be noted that the Board of Education members receive their agendas several days prior to the actual meeting and have had considerable opportunity to study and ask questions, which is what we just talked about in this conversation. We have a notice for the organizational meeting. It is Wednesday, January 7th at 7 p.m. And the purpose of that meeting is to elect officers, set the meeting schedule for the year, and all other matters that may come before us as a normal meeting would have.
Quick question, why is it not at 6? Just wondering.
I was wondering the same thing, but it didn't matter to me, so I didn't see it.
Why is it not at 6 o'clock, that one? Just wondering why that one, because normally the first one's at 6 and then the regular meeting's at 7.
Yeah, I don't know why we moved that first one to 7. I don't remember.
Well,
Or is it
if you
because
give me a
of the
second,
break?
I think it might
was a-
be because that's how we published it last year.
Could have been last year's.
It could have been on last year, let me go to,
We can do
certainly
6.
change
but we
that.
can change it. There's no reason why we can't have it at 6.
Unless 7 works better for the new board members.
Let me go to, I just need to go to.
Just here later.
Yeah, because it's not a regular meeting. It is a work session, well, it's the organizational meeting, which is a special meeting.
Maybe that's why it's
Kind
at
of
7.
wide. In fact, you're allowed to have 2 meetings that night. And we've done that once or twice, where you call it the organizational meeting, 15 minutes later you adjourn that, and then you have a board meeting. They're 2 separate meetings, and that means it has financial implications to do it that way. We haven't done that in the last 6 or 8 years, at least.
Charge the district.
And we only did it once or twice during my tenure.
I wouldn't, that's double charging the district, that's,
It's essentially what, yes.
should do that.
Yeah,
So-
I think you're right.
I'm waiting for our administrators to.
I recommend that you do change it, actually, because one of the things we plan to do is have John Britton come and do a small board retreat as an orientation for the new Board of Education
On that night?
on that night.
On that night.
Yeah.
So we'd have to work with him before we could change it, is that what you just said? Or
No.
or do you think it would be better to
He was
change it?
you're gonna start at 7, you're gonna be here till 10.
Yeah,
It'll be a long meeting.
You start at 6, you'll be out by 9, which is,
yeah,
that would be better.
yes, okay. Well, let's make it, I have no problem with making that a
Too
6.
late now, my friends.
Do you need a motion? Do you need a motion?
I had offered it up to you guys before,
don't know.
what works best for
Well,
the
we're
new
gonna
board
change the
meeting
other one, too.
members.
So we're changing 3 items here, or 2 items. We're taking the Wednesday, January 7th and moving it to 6, the organizational meeting. And we're taking our regular meeting would be the 28th rather than the 21st.
We haven't voted on that one yet. right.
At 7.
Correct.
And then the next work session would be February 11th at 6. So is that what we're going to do?
I don't think we picked the actual dates until the January 7th meeting though, right? Until if it's the 21st or 28th.
Oh,
Or do you want to decide now? So you
might
can-
as well.
Yeah, last year, we're probably just sticking with what was done in the past. The organizational meeting in 2025, January 2025, was at 7 o'clock PM.
Okay, so we just
So
carry.
it's probably just something that we've done in the past. It could be 6 o'clock.
Yeah, okay, well, why don't we do that?
There's nothing that prevents us from doing that. We just would have to give proper notice if it's a change from what we had published.
Yeah, but you haven't even published anything yet, so.
Well, that's what I'm desperately trying to find.
No, we haven't.
Well, no, it is not published anywhere.
Okay.
I'm looking at what's online, PDF calendar, and now, of course, I can't see it, but right here, you see there's no January 8th, so no, it's not published, so
Okay.
6 o'clock it is.
All right.
It is? Yes.
6 o'clock? 6 o'clock. Yeah, we got to look over there. We got 2 6s over there, 2 6s over here, okay.
That's fine.
All right, and then moving from the 21st to the 28th?
Well, that, you guys will vote on that calendar.
We'll vote on that
At
then.
that night, you'll vote on the.
Right.
So if there's any other thing that you feel like,
Right,
I don't like this week of July, can we do it on this week?
right.
We can do
Yeah,
that.
so all of those that's why those are marked
Any
tentative
dates
anyway.
can change as long as we give proper notice.
Right.
And we try not to change too many, but dates and times can change based on proper notice.
Right, okay. So January 7th is at 6, and you're going to see the 21st will become the 28th,
Well, maybe not.
most likely, but we're not sure yet. And then February 11th looks good at the 6th. But again, that's all tentative because you two, along with 2 of us and a third person, get to vote on that next meeting. Okay. Whew. Is there any other business to come before the board this evening? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, because now I can accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dobbins, second by Ms. Etter. Ms. Prowse, do you want to do a third
No, I'm
on that
good.
one?
I got my last one in, I'm good.
Okay. Treasurer, please call the roll with that.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Ms. Prowse.
Aye.
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mr. Stjack.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. It is, whatever time it is, 8:25, and we are adjourned.